Beck. Everyone loves Glenn Beck, and it was the opportunity that he provided for African Americans to be on his show, which was great. But the opposite side that I have on that is that you have those African Americans who are just agreeing to everything.
Yeah, but I was wondering, well, you go back and look at the clip online.
I know you were there.
I was one of the folks that was online.
You were one of the Negroes in the audience.
No, I was one of the African Americans in the audience who rose my hand. And on top of that,
how does it say on your birth certificate? African American, Black, or Negro?
It says McAllister.
Okay, go ahead.
So with that said.
And that depends on when you were born.
It depends on when you were born. We had that show
really
too.
Depends when you were born. You have any control over,
But even on Glenn Beck, I mentioned the melting pot point. He disagreed with a lot of people disagree. In fact, he cut right to commercial after I said it. I said, look, we should be proud enough as Americans to be able to say African American without slandering anybody or hurting anybody's feelings. Now, of course, he kind of looked at me like, yeah, let's go to commercial break and cut me off.
Perspective.
But you have to be able to say that even with the Fox News cameras on you, even in front of a guy making $15 million a year on a camera, because if you don't do that, then how in the world are you going to respect somebody that took a bullet for you and died? I can't drive down Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard or walk on Malcolm X Boulevard in Harlem if I'm not willing to say those things. I value my life, but I cannot value my life more than I value my children's lives or the lives of those that gave up an opportunity to see their grandchildren so that I can see my children.
Where do you see us moving forward as far as standing for what you're talking about? Because instead of words being put into your mouth, I look at Marcus Lord. Someone put something into his mouth. I see a Glenn Beck, and he's putting things in other people's mouth. Who's going to speak for us?
Shirley Hussar, Mario Hamsley, Lenny McAllister, the folks in this room, the folks in the chat room. It is absolutely a movement of people to reinvigorate the American people, and we have to take that approach. And it's going to be a cultural clash. But every advancement in American history has involved a clash, from the American Civil War to the American back to the American Revolution to the Civil Rights era. So we can't be afraid of clashing or crashing into each other if we love each other enough. If we love each other enough, we will go forward with that clash, stay respectful, and advance our nation and hopefully that one nation under God that we believe in, that's on the back of every piece of money we have.
Wow. What do you say to that, family? That's incredible.
That's a wonderful perspective, and we wish you well. We hope, like I said, I hope the Democratic Party gets some people with this type of mentality within their party, because if you could get something like that going and the two shall meet, then there is a potential for at least some degree of change. I want to invite everybody, too, to go to www.lennymcallister.com. It's coming soon, right, Lenny?
Yes, we're
under development.
We're upgrading the site, and what I put on the site is if you want to have me as a public speaker,
awesome,
you can get in touch with my management. There's also places to go online. Go to the Daily Caller every Tuesday. Go to Global Grind every Wednesday. Go to the Loop 21 every Thursday, and the Root.com as well. You can also go to Amazon.com to get. And let me talk about the cover real quick. The reason why the cover is so significant, because it talks about the epitome of what Hip Hop Republican is all about. You have the Black Power fist, so there's pride in being of African American. There's pride in being a Republican. But what's the most powerful image on this cover?
The pen.
It's the pen.
Which symbolizes education. I got all that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So that's what
that was all thought out. I love that.
That's what we need to do as Americans in order to make sure that you can be all these things up here. But if you don't have the proper voice and the avenue through which to get your ideas out there and be part of the solution and be part of American history rather than just studying or being a victim of American history, all that's going to end up happening to you is you will be a stand-by of American history.
And I would say, as a family member here from HipHopRepublican.tv.com, that's exactly the roots of where we were created. We were created because we're a group of bloggers that were mad at the establishment. We're still currently mad at the establishment and how it's being ran. And we encourage you to become a member of HipHopRepublican.tv and .com, because as you write and voice your mind and your opinion, we come together. You get to hear what's going on in your own communities. This is a nationally syndicated show. It's an internationally syndicated show because we want international viewpoints to see that inner city African Americans, Latinos, Armenians, Japanese, we have different sites that just are not about Black Republicans. This is about Republicans who want to hear a different viewpoint of how this country is moving, and this is also about America seeing that we are about the American people. So we do not always agree with our establishment, but we do believe in change and true change and hope and a betterment, so that the middle class that is not being aware, they're being taxed to death to cover for the top that continues to use our money. Danny, can you tell me a little bit what the family feels about? I mean, Lenny's been great with this.
We want to know, Lenny, do you have political aspirations? Are you going to be running in North Carolina?
Wow, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, you speaking my language.
Oh,
see, I don't have to just vote one particular way.
Exactly.
If it's I have to connect with somebody that's reasonable, that I can understand. The plan sounds great. Like there's this guy, a Republican down in the school board in Texas. He's changing and he's leaving office. But when he leaves, the next 10 years are going to be just crazy for the educational system. He's on the school board for Texas, and he's changing all the books and the history books and what have you, where it's more Christian based. Texas has their own, I guess, books that they order that are different from the rest of the nation, but they're trying to get all of us to do it.
So
I'm not voting for it because what he's putting in there personally, he's telling history to me all wrong.
Okay, so tell me, Lenny, do you have any political aspirations?
Well, my main aspiration is to follow what God is going to have me do. If that leads me into politics and leading in a political fashion, so be it. But I feel that we have to get to a point in time where we understand what leadership really means. And leadership is not a man with a title. Leadership is a man with a vision and a love for people and serving people.
Vision and a love for people. You hear that right now, family? I mean, I got to applaud that.
Lenny McAllister, everybody.
Lenny
Lenny
McAllister is
McAllister.
running for office, and we definitely want to let you know that he announced that here on HipHopRepublican.tv that he is going to be putting himself on that ballot for whatever reason, and that reason is for a better truth in America. Right?
That's what we're fighting for.
We want to thank you, family members, so much for watching. You continue to watch and support HipHopRepublican.tv. Make sure that you go to HipHopRepublican.com and be bloggers. Lenny McAllister's website is Lenny McAllister, Lenny, capital MC, capital ALLISTER.com. Go to Lenny McAllister, check him out. You can also Facebook Lenny. You can Twitter him, and you can email him. He loves to be Twitter. He's a Twitter fanatic. You can also read his blogs. He's a consistent blogger. He has addict issues. You know, like some people like crack cocaine and weed. Lenny likes to write. He likes to write, and he encourages you to be writers as well.
Let me list them off real quick. Every Sunday I'll be doing an exclusive on HipHopRepublican.com. Every Tuesday I'm found on the Daily Caller, which is Tucker Carlson's site. Every Wednesday I'm on Russell Simmons's Global Grind website. On Thursdays I'm found on the Loop 21.
Awesome.
On Friday I'm found Friday,
Wow.
and this week on Saturday I'll be found on the Root.com.
And you're also on the HipHopRepublican.tv as well. You have your
I
own.
am here on the
hit
Fox
you up
Stereo
there.
family. Folks, I love this show. I've been following Morning Coffee for a second. I've been following Shirley's show since the onset. And these are some great
And we want to
people.
say shout out to Tavis Smiley. Tavis Smiley, you're going to be on there. You're going to be Skyping.
Yes, I will
on
be
March
Skyping
the 20th.
March the 20th.
You know, his movement of the Black Agenda. My brief I have with Tavis Smiley, just to let it be known to the family. I don't feel he's going to have any Republicans on his platform. And we have offered and we have put ourselves out there on the table to provide him some of the best and the greatest in the United States. And unfortunately, the Tavis Smiley family have chosen not to have Republicans possibly on that show. Now, he might have a Skyped in, but I want to see us in the seat. But that is yet to be known because March 20th, 2010 has not arrived yet. So let's hope that the Tavis Smiley team will consider with their agenda of the two people that they have that have been on the show since Jesus was born, that they can continue, as he has been, to continue to open and be more open to conservative Republicans on there. I thank God for Tavis. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's about accountability for the community. So let's set those records straight. He is about accountability and change for the American urban communities and about government. And he makes a long history of connections, no matter that we are on a president who happens to be African American. Tavis does not want to hold back the fact that he is going to hold that president, as we are on this show on HipHopRepublican.tv, accountable for what is going on in our country as well. Lenny, for our last parting words, do you have anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you to the Pack Stereo family, the crew here for Morning Coffee, and for HipHopRepublican.tv for having me here. I want you all to continue the mission, continue to do well, continue to get the message out there, continue to have this loving debate. There's nothing like seeing two sisters argue and love each other to be able to go at each other and just do it.
At the
that's
end
how
of
we
the
grow.
day, that's my girl.
I know,
You know what
and
I mean?
but that's how America's going to grow,
throws a
Danny.
different side to it.
But that's how America's going to grow, and we
Yeah.
have to be courageous enough because the people that have